I'm your host, Jade.
And I'm your host, Emma.
And this is
Lashing Out and Nailing Life.
Welcome to our first episode.
So exciting.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do this for so long. I couldn't find somebody to do it with until I brought it up to Emma.
And now I'm here.
And here we are, finally doing it for 2025.
I know.
Crazy.
This is our New Year's resolution.
Yeah, to get a podcast going.
Yes. Okay.
So my name's Jade, and I own High Definition Aesthetics, located in Lone Tree, Colorado, and I'm a licensed esthetician who specializes in custom lash extensions, custom facials, and custom brows.
So fancy. My name's Emma, and I own Ema V Beauty in Parker, Colorado, and I'm a licensed cosmetologist that focuses on natural nail health and gel-only services.
And I can vouch for her. She's amazing. She's
I
helped my
know.
nails
The
grow
nails,
out.
so cute.
Yes.
My nails were like...
We both run our own businesses. We're both one-woman shows. We don't have any help aside from the occasional help from our dads.
Yes, bless
But
the
apart
dads.
from that, we do everything ourselves.
Yes, we wanted to do this podcast to be like relatable and kind of share some of our struggles. I feel like I listen to a lot of business podcasts that don't really kind of cover all the gory things about running your own business.
It's definitely a glorified and glammed up industry.
Or even just the positive things. Like they're either like super depressing or like overly positive.
They're
so
not balanced out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're here to provide a balanced look into running a business in your 20s, but we're not just aimed at beauty business owners, we're aimed at all business owners, and I'd like to say that for anybody in their 20s, we'll have some useful advice and some useful insight to make you feel less alone, because I know as a girl in her 20s, sometimes I feel very alone with things that we're all going through.
Yeah, even just personal life stuff. I mean, it's rough out here sometimes, so...
Yeah, we just want to focus on what it's like to run a business, but also on what it's like to deal with the relationships and friendships through that.
Yeah, all that work-life balance.
Yeah.
Right.
So Emma and I met back in 2020, good old COVID days, when we ended up attending the same beauty school. She was going for Cosmo, and I was going for SD. We did not talk at all, though, I don't think, in school.
No.
I think we maybe crossed paths once or twice, and I did follow your nail page back then, whether you knew that or not.
I don't think I did.
But I came across her nail page again, probably, I think, May or June of last year, and she was looking for some models. So I just sent her a DM and was like, hey, can I come in and you do my nails?
And I got the message and was like, I know this girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sure.
And she's been doing my nails ever since.
Yeah.
And then I think October of this year, I went to LashCon, and they were talking about if you want to do a podcast, because it's one of the best things you can do in our industry to help expand your business. And I was trying to look for a fellow lash artist to do a podcast with, but I ended up talking to Emma about it. And I think having the view from both an esthetician lash artist and a cosmetologist nail artist provides a better landscape for you guys to get a better idea.
Yeah, I thought both of our personalities too would be different enough to be like interesting.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. We offer different points of view for sure.
For sure.
So how did you get started?
Oh my goodness. So when I was 13, I think, I started doing my own nails because I always thought I had really crappy nails and did that for forever. Never really thought about beauty stuff as a career. We moved to Colorado, me and my family, about like 8 years ago, something like that. Gosh, it's so bad. Never know what day it is. But and me and my mom were walking around just like our area because we had just moved here, and she was like, there are so many beauty schools. What if you went? And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Again, I didn't even think about it as a full-time career, as a business at that time. I just thought it would be something that I could do to have a job, like work in a salon where I didn't have to like be at McDonald's or like work and do something I didn't like.
Yeah.
And then I got sucked into the natural nail world and caring for people's health. And now we're here. And I've been on my own for, oh gosh, it'll be two years in February. Like that.
I think we're both February,
yeah.
ironically.
Yeah. Love it.
I ended up getting into this industry actually thanks to my dad. So I was one of the like top students at school, and I hated school. But because I was a top student, like you end up looking at going to university because that's like I feel like that's what it's expected nowadays more so than a trade school. So I was forcing myself to look at these like top paying careers, and thank goodness my dad could see that I had literally no interest in pursuing any of them. So he sat me down and he asked what I really wanted to do. And this is still my long-term goal, but my favorite movie series is Harry Potter, and I just aspire to do those kind of special effects with makeup, the creature effects that are in that, the fantasy makeup, all of that. So I actually started by going to film school in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I graduated with a diploma in makeup design for film and television, and that was December of 2019. So we know what quickly happened in 2020. Thank goodness my mom called it and had me move home because they did shut down the borders between US and Canada, so I would not have been able to get home. But to legally work as a makeup artist in Colorado, and I know most of you probably don't live up to this, but that's okay. I'm not gonna report you. But to legally work as a makeup artist in Colorado, you have to have an esthetician's or a cosmetology license. So I ended up attending esthetician school, and at esthetician school we ended up learning lashes for all of 2 days. And I got my license and I started working at this spa, and they also offered lashes, and I did lashing there. And I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. For the first month or two, I hated it. I've never cried so much over something in my life.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that's, if you talk to most lash artists, that's what we all went through.
You'd never know now. You'd never know.
No, you would never know now. But the first month or two, like, it's such an intricate craft that you want to slam your head a couple of times. It's so hard to learn. But September of 2020 is when I started doing it professionally. So over 4 years now, which is terrifying. And then I opened my own business February of 2022. So we're coming up on 3 years this February, which is super exciting. And I'd say I've started flourishing as a lash artist since April of 2023. So coming on 2 years of like, I feel like I've really come into my own as a lash artist.
No, I have so much respect. So Jade did these like little colored lashes on me before I went to this wedding that we had to go to, and I got so obsessed. But it told me I could never do lash extensions because I would rub my eyes all the time. So I was like, okay, I can't do that. And I was like, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll get like those tiny little clusters, and I'll buy the individual like lashes and like just some like little lash glue and like glue them on to the lashes. Oh my gosh, just doing that was so hard. I wasn't even separating them. I was just gluing them on top, and I was like losing a lash, and then this lash would go, and I was like, oh my gosh, I get it. It's so hard.
And that's one of the hardest things is when you're learning lashes, they give you those little practice strips, and you don't really have to properly isolate because they're all spread out anyways. But then you go to do them on a real person's eye, and suddenly they have all these crisscrossing ones, and there's the short baby ones. It's a nightmare. But crazy. I absolutely love it now, and I could not imagine or see myself doing anything else. And like that's one of the reasons that I will fight so hard for this to be my job in my business. But I have such a passion for it. But I feel like if you talk to any lash artist, they had the same initial struggle I had. I don't think anybody goes into lashing and they're like, yeah, I got this.
I feel like that's good though, because it does kind of like weed out the weak ones.
Oh, hands down.
I think like I run into that too with nails. Like I think like having a real passion for it and not just like being in it for the money is what you should be doing. Like that's
100%.
Because if you're just in it, like you get burnt out so fast if you don't love what you're doing.
Definitely. And I feel like that's one of the things with the beauty business is there's so many people that have ended up pursuing beauty for money because they think it's easy money. And I feel like a lot of those end up canceling and giving up their business so quickly because they realize it's actually not easy at all.
Yep. Or they get mad when it doesn't work immediately just from being like...
Oh, 100%, which it never does. I mean, unless you have this huge giant network of like 1,000 people that you know really well and they're actually genuine enough to support your business, because as most of you know out there, friends and family are not your...
They are not your ideal clients. No. Nope.
Nope, they're not.
I have made more friends from clients, like clients becoming friends.
Yes.
Jade is an example.
Yep.
Than my friends, like the friends that I had that let me practice on them when I first left the salon. I don't do their nails anymore. Like,
yeah, they don't want to pay.
Yeah, they don't want to.
They don't.
Yeah, and they don't have the like. they don't want to work with your schedule. They still want you to be on their schedule.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely, I'm the same way. I've definitely made a lot of more friends from my clients than clients from my friends. And that's one of just like the many surface level struggles that you face when you start opening your business.
Yeah. I've lost some friends because, I mean, I'm still friends with some of the people, but I've lost friends who are also like, oh, you're not going to do my nails anymore? Like,
there's those people, and then there's the people that just don't understand that when you run your own business, you're working 24/7.
you work so much. There's
And
so much behind the scenes.
yeah. Well, they get upset because they're like, well, you're not with clients, so you can see me. And I'm like, no, I have like 500 other things I need to be doing. Like, it's not just I'm servicing people.
Yep, it's hard. I don't go anywhere. I'm impressed that you go out.
I have to. I will lose my mind if I don't go out.
Because I come home and I'm like, social media, this is what we're doing now. And then Jade will be like, I'm out in the world. And I'm like, what?
In retrospect, in that way, I have a lot of respect for you. Social media is where I struggle the most. And I think, like, if you take a look at my social media, you see a great proof of that. Personal as well. I can go months without not posting on my personal. Luckily, on my business, I typically go, like, 3 weeks in between. But I'll go through a period where I'm posting consistently for, like, 2 weeks. And then suddenly I fall off the face of the earth.
I set 1 day a week aside where I schedule. Because now, like, everything's all schedule-y. And it used to be that, like, algorithms and stuff would see that as you not being a real person, and so it would like push your content away, but now it's literally doesn't even matter.
Okay, well, that's one of my goals for 2025, guys.
I set 1 day a week, even if it's just like 2 or 3 hours at the end of like a short work day, and schedule out like the whole next week. Or sometimes, which I didn't know this, I guess if you have certain amounts of followers, Instagram lets you do different things, but now I think it lets me do like almost a month out. So you can even do, and it's a hit or miss, I guess, but I started, I don't know if I told you this, but I started doing my hairstylist's Instagram.
Yes.
I shouldn't have taken that on. It's so much.
This is spreading yourself too thin as a
yes,
business owner.
That's too much. I thought, I'll help her out. It'll be fine. It's not fine. But I told her I was only going to do it for a few months just to kind of like help kickstart things. And she did not have 100 followers. And because she does not have 100 followers, there are certain things in your dashboard that you can't see.
I have 600, so I wouldn't know.
And same, 700, like also same, like I have over 100 followers. And also she can only schedule a week. And I found that out because I went to do both of our stuff one day. I had never paid attention to it. And I did mine like a week and a half because that's how much content I had. And then I went to do hers and I was like, I can't do it as far out. That's so weird. That's crazy. And then I was like, yeah, so we're trucking along. She's almost at 80.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. I'm definitely not the instant overnight marketing person for sure.
Well, there's just a certain flair to getting that down. And the people that have it down. But nobody wants to tell you the secret.
Well, and then they go, oh, I'll tell you the secret. And you take their class and you're like,
you learn nothing.
This has no secrets. Exactly. This had no secrets for me.
I think this is everything I've been doing and it's not working for me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I went viral on TikTok back in 2020 for my makeup. Could I tell you how? No. And I've never been able to replicate it again. I literally woke up just one morning. So I think I posted the video at 11 o'clock at night. And for some reason in my head, I thought that was the key. Because I was like, well, everybody's in bed scrolling at that time, especially during COVID. None of us were sleeping on a regular schedule.
Right.
So I posted it at that time. I went to bed because I just posted it and went to sleep. I didn't do anything else after. So I closed out of the app. I woke up to 1.5 million views. And I think 200,000 likes and 10,000 comments. It was something insane. Yeah. But I just remember like calling my best friend at the time and being like, go check my TikTok. Like, is this happening on your end too?
Oh my gosh.
Until this day, I couldn't tell you how I did it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had videos that haven't gone viral, but I've had like the weirdest, like bad lighting, can't really see anything, swatches of nail polish that get like thousands of views. Versus videos of me like, okay, I set the lighting up perfectly and I'm going to unbox this thing and it'll get like 50 views and one like.
I've seen that a lot for trends for 2025 is like one of the biggest trends is like being your brand and looking for less perfection. Yeah. So I might thrive this year.
You might.
I might because I'm not the girl that sits and meticulously edits anything. Every single picture that you see on my Instagram is a raw image. I'm not editing anything. There's probably maybe 3 or 4 if you scroll a little back where I like had gone and taken a class and they were like, you need to edit your pictures so they look better on social media. So I did. But if you scroll back and you find them, I personally think those look so much worse than just my natural shots. And I think as a lash artist and as an esthetician, no hate to those of you who do edit your pictures, but I, to myself, feel like that's just false advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole focus of my business is amplifying your natural beauty. That's my catchphrase. And if I'm editing you before I post you, I just don't feel like I'm amplifying your natural beauty. Like, I am editing your natural beauty, and that's not what I want to be doing.
Yeah, I recently actually took a photography class for just hands.
As you need
and
to.
her thing, too, was, like, she barely, like, she'll put the, you know, where people do, like, the, which sometimes I do this, like, your name, but then you, like, down the opacity, watermark. That's the word. But she doesn't do anything. She just has, like, a lamp and her phone. And then occasionally for, like, neons, because only no people will get this, neons never capture right on camera, she uses a camera. Okay. But she was like, but you don't really need that. And I was like, great, cool. And then I was just like, yeah, you don't need to, like, edit. You don't want to falsely advertise.
You definitely don't want to over edit.
Right, you don't want to over edit. And I always think too, like, from my perspective, is if someone comes in and they see, oh my gosh, their hands look so smooth.
Yeah.
Then my hands are going to look so smooth. And then they come in and you're like, you're 72. Your hands are only going to...
reality.
And, like, lotion can only do so much. Like, there are just things, like... Or if, you know, if estheticians or lash artists or anything, like, they're editing what the final product looks like and you go in and you don't get the same thing. I always look at things from a client's perspective. Like, if I'm a client getting a service, would this make me mad?
Yeah, exactly. And I also personally, from a client's perspective, if I went to my lash artist's Instagram and they posted a picture of me, but I saw that they felt the need to, like, smooth out my skin and, like, fix things, but I personally didn't see anything wrong with my own skin.
Oh, I would feel so... That would wreck me.
I would feel so like, insecure and a little sad. So, yeah, if any of my guests ever ask, like, hey, you can post it, but, like, do you mind editing out this blemish? Which occasionally I will get that. Hands down, I'll edit it out for them. But I'm not about to go and do all this revamping and fixing when
it just
everybody's
adds something
beautiful in their own skin, and I don't see a reason to do it.
It just adds something else to your list of stuff that you have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So, oh my goodness, so many topics we could talk about.
I was gonna say we can go down so many different rabbit holes, and that's just
oh my gosh, beauty school is a
one.
rabbit hole I constantly go down. And how
we can do a
awful
whole
it was.
episode on that one.
Oh gosh, we should. That's what we should do a whole episode on. We should get, you know who we should get to be in that episode is our friend Jayla. Because she also went to beauty school with us.
Yep.
That's a good one. We should do that.
We're going to have some co-stars. I've got a few in mind.
Me too.
To come in and talk.
I think it'll be fun. Again, I really, like, wanted something where it was, like, seeing other women, young, who aren't like, I've been doing this for 45 years, and now I'm a millionaire.
And I want to pull from a couple different industries, too, because we have Mackenzie. And I feel like she has a good insight on work ethic for sure, and building more of a network, because her network is insane to me.
Yeah,
she's so good at networking. Great. She's an amazing she's just a good speaker.
Yeah, she's great. She's super cool. Yeah, and just like other I like the different perspectives, and I think we have enough people that we know that
and then if anybody listening ever wants to come on, like, never be afraid to tell your
story.
Yeah, we're always here. I mean, I feel like the more people you learn from, the better your business is going to be. And I feel like that's... Both of us have probably listened to an endless amount of podcasts and YouTube videos and courses in abundance to try and expand our knowledge. And I feel like there's always more to share.
Yeah, I feel like we always learn a lot from each other, too. Just, like, at dinner when we go out and stuff.
When we go out for dinner, or even just while you're doing my nails.
Right. And again, it just makes you feel like you're like that. You're not crazy because you're talking to other people who are going through similar problems, or like, oh, it's a really slow season, and oh, you're having that too. Cool, it's not me. Like,
and even just girl things.
Yeah, just girl
things that happen where you're like, am I crazy? Like, am I alone? And then you talk to somebody else and you're like, no, this is normal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
There's just so many little things. I mean, like,
many things.
We just don't talk to each other enough as friends.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people out there who don't, so they sit and feel alone. And if you don't have any, like, other business friends, which I kind of ended up in a little rut there for a little while where I didn't really have anybody I was friends with who also had their own business, you feel so alone. You feel so alone.
I mean, even when I worked in a salon for the last 3 years before I went on my own, or 2.5 or something like that. And time is a construct, right?
Yeah.
And when we all chose to leave, which is a whole nother thing, I was the only one who ended up like really going on my own. I had a lot of friends who ended up doing something part-time and then finding other jobs and things like that. And there was one other girl, but she doesn't talk to me. And so it did kind of feel like, or we would get together, and because like we weren't super close, I would feel like I was doing worse than her, but then like she could also be in the same position, but we just weren't
100%.
talking about it. And I feel like in this industry too, a lot of people love to fake it till they make it.
Oh, you see that so much on social media. People will post their like day schedules, and there's just some that to me they might be real. Okay, I don't know, but there's just some that look so fake to me.
You're like, how would you fit that in
There's
your how you
literally
work?
no way you're doing that in one day, at least not healthily.
Right. Or my thing too is just like people constantly being like, well, I'm already fully booked. I've been out here for a month and I'm fully booked. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not fully booked. Like I must be doing something wrong. And then you learn like, oh, they're not fully booked. This is
fully
not
booked. I feel like a lot of people use that way ahead before they should, because fully booked is, for me as a lash artist, and my price point is having 40 to 50 steady clients. That is what fully booked to me, and that's 40 to 50 consistent clients that are coming to me every 2 to 3 weeks. People can assume they're fully booked because they look at their month and they're booked for that month. Well, congratulations, but are they all returning?
True. That's true.
So I think that's also where you get the false concept of some people do think they're fully booked, and you can like have a fully booked month, but that doesn't mean you are fully booked.
I'll go on a little rant here because I have recently unfollowed a bunch of nail people who were kind of advertising that like, I'm booked and busy. Here's my tips and tricks. And then I got booked and busy and was like, that's weird. That's weird that you, like, I had to close my books because I physically cannot take any new clients without losing my current regulars, which just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if they drop off, then I find other people. But, like, to be able to fit someone new to where they can book out regularly, if I can't do that, you're fully booked. That's a fully booked. So when that happened to me, and now I'm fully booked, and I'm like, that's weird that those girls that were saying they were fully booked, they never closed their books. I wonder if, I wonder what that's about.
Exactly.
And I wonder why they never talked about, I contemplated. Because I've seen people who said, I contemplated, but in my area, this is why I didn't do it. And I'm like, okay. But what? Like, tell us why. Tell us why you're not doing that.
Fully booked is definitely thrown around.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I think the schedules are thrown around too. I mean, I've even had people give me the advice of like, well, just fake your schedule, like make it look more full. And I'm
Square
like,
does that for you.
ugh.
There's a button on Square that it says something silly like
put in mock appointments.
Right, and it'll say, we'll stagger the appointments so you look like you're busier. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah, I just don't like that appeal.
No. And I don't think that really, like, I never did anything like that. And I don't think that really makes people think you're coveted. I think, I mean, if anything, it kind of puts people off because they're like, well, she's so booked. I'm not going to book with her.
You can't fit in the slot you want to fit in.
Like, she's so booked. Like, she only has a 2:00 on a Friday and I can't do that. When really you have all day.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't.
And I don't know why it's such a thing to be like, I'm fully booked. Like, look what I've done. And it's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing if you're not fully booked. Like, you're making progress every day.
Maybe
You're
it's
still
healthier
working.
to not be.
Yeah, you're not running yourself thin. You're not burning yourself out. So pros and cons for sure.
Yeah,
but
sometimes I wish I...
I mean, you don't have to be fully booked. Like, I don't think anybody listening to this should feel like they have to be fully booked.
No.
As long as you're, like, working on your business and you're growing it in whatever capacity, whether that's just posting more on social media, working on your website, building a blog, starting a podcast.
Goals. Yeah.
Literally just doing stuff for your business, you're accomplishing something. You don't have to sit there and feel like you have to be fully booked. Like, if you are listening to this right now and you're not fully booked, I'm not fully booked. So find some peace in that. You're not alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like, again, it's that kind of like toxicity of the
And that's one
industry.
of the issues with our industry. And I hate to say it because Colorado has been trying, but we still struggle in the lash industry in Colorado with cattiness and pettiness. And people will be your friend for a few months and then they'll fall off the face of the earth. And I've done that with 3, 4, 5 lash artists at this point where I think I've made a great friend and then all of a sudden they're not present in my life anymore. And it's just kind of heartbreaking because I would like to build that sense of community.
And I think it's easy to slip into those ways too, just because especially if you're on your own, Like,
Yeah.
or even, I don't know how spas are set up, but I would feel like if you're only by yourself all day,
Yeah, which you are.
like, then that would be, because I wasn't even in a salon and it was catty, but like, I feel like that would make it worse because it's just like you yourself and, you know.
I can tell my horror story for why I started my own business.
But so I feel like it's easier to slip into, but like for me, I'm introverted. Fun fact. And my whole job is talking to people, but I think that going into it with trust and being like, this person's not going to stab me in the back is what helped me keep a lot of my, because I don't think I would have become friends with half of the people that I've become friends with if I was just like, well, we didn't get along that one time and you know, those many years ago, and oh, now they do this and I just hate everybody in the beauty industry. Then like,
I mean, I'm not giving up. I am talking to Jess from Volume Lash Studio. Shout out to her, and I love her, and I'm grateful for her. She does my lashes, and I do facials and brows for her, and like those are my favorite kind of like.
Right.
You
That's
build
the
a
only
lot
way
of
we
trust
see each
with
other.
people when you like trade services. You build a lot of trust with each other, and I have hope for the lash industry in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's just been a struggle over the past 2 years.
And I feel like the people who have hope, including you, are not the problem.
That's fair.
It's the people who are like, we don't want you.
Well, the thing about our industry is like, yes, our clients are picking us for our talent and our skill, but they're 100% also picking us for our personality.
Yeah. I've had several people ask if I was gonna, I mean, this is not just because I'm booked now. Like, I just had people ask, like, now that you're on your own, are you gonna hire an employee? And I asked all of them, would you see someone that isn't me? And they went, no. And I went, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, exactly. Most of my guests are like, I wouldn't get lashes anymore if you weren't doing lashes.
Yeah.
So it's like, at that point, why do we need to be competitive?
I know. And there's so many people. And again,
So
like
many.
the vibes, like I've done nail services with people that I've thought we've gotten along and are fine, but they didn't like me.
Yeah. 100%.
And it had nothing to do with my work. And that was something I also had to do to like get out of that hole of when people wouldn't rebook. And I would like, oh gosh, cringy moments. I would like reach out and be like, so I haven't heard from you in a while. And I was like, gosh, I feel like a clingy ex-girlfriend.
Sometimes I feel bad doing that, but some of these people, I mean, I've had guests that I love that suddenly have canceled their appointments, and I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, I'm genuinely worried.
I
like,
think
I'm
that's
checking
different.
in. And I think most of the time that's where I'm coming from is it's like, hey, I just want to check, like, there wasn't any emergencies, because, like, if there was, like, I want to be thinking of you, and I, like, want to be there for you. Because I'm close to most of my clients.
I think that's even different, especially if you've been seeing them for a while.
Oh, if somebody's only come to me once or twice and they don't rebook with me.
So that's...
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I kind
would
of accept
yes,
that. It just wasn't working.
I had a couple, when I first started, I had people who would book with me. And then they would come in, and I mean, I'm like, I do natural nails. I'm not like, Jade's always cute. Like,
no, I wear scrubs to work.
I'm like, that's still effort. I'm like t-shirt, leggings.
The reason I wear scrubs is so I don't put effort in. I just grab the same black scrubs every day.
I'm like t-shirt, leggings. Like, this is what I wear to work. Like, I'm cozy, comfy. And some people, I think it puts them off. That like, or like, oh, you don't have eyelashes done, and you don't have your hair's always in a ponytail, and you never do anything cute. Well, because I don't want it in my face. Like,
that's fair.
And so I definitely had some people in the beginning who, I even just had a return client who did the exact same thing she did the first time and forgot who I was.
Oh gosh.
Another story. And when the first time that it happened with her, I reached out and was like, hey, is anything okay? And she sent me this huge, long, like really mean paragraph that made me cry. And it took me a while to be like, okay, this isn't personal. She's just rude. She's just rude. Like, she's just a rude person. She came back. She's still the same person. Like, and I think like, or some people, again, like they don't want to listen to us as professionals. So then they go down that like, well, it's not me, it's you. Like, it wasn't me with nails. It wasn't me jamming my hands into this drawer. It's your quality of work. And I'm like, well, might be something you're doing. Because I do take time to like troubleshoot and stuff, but that's something else you really have to get over fast is like, and I see this in groups that I'm in all the time too. Oh, I got this text and like, I don't want to lose her as a client. If she's going to be rude to you, if they're going to be rude to you,
want to lose her.
There's somebody better.
I promise.
And like, I even have the difficult clients that I have, which is very few. I've talked to them like face to face, and they fix their attitude because they want to see me. If they don't want to see, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth the
And that's one of
tears.
my favorite things about having my own business is all of my guests are like my friends, and I've attracted people that have the exact same energy I have.
Yep.
And like that's one of the most beautiful things.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
for that reason, don't put up with people you don't have to put up with.
Yeah.
The right people will find you. And it's hard to have those hard conversations, but the like one guest I wanted to get rid of for over a year, she literally gave me an out one day. And sometimes, yes, if you're a coward like me, it takes that. I probably should have said bye-bye a long time ago.
Me too.
She came in one day with pictures, and she was like, see, other lash artists can do it. And I was like, okay, go to another lash artist.
Yep.
Because what she wanted me to do was not achievable on her lash line with her lash health and the length of her lashes. And just like Emma is all about natural nails, I 100% am about maintaining your natural lashes, because lash extensions can be used as a protective styling because they're supposed to prevent you from rubbing your eyes. Doesn't work for Emma, but
don't give me that look.
I'm a picker. I can't say anything. Jess hates me secretly. But I'm not about to do something on a client's eyes that I know is going to damage their natural lashes. Right. It's just not in my heart. But she'd been dealing with me for a year, accepting what I was doing, which was healthy for her lashes. And she just went to a breaking point of like, well, I found all these pictures of what other lash artists are doing, and like they can do it. And like at that point, go to one of them then.
And even as someone who doesn't do lashes, I see lashes sometimes and I'm like, there's no way that is healthy. For your eyes. Like, think about a strip lash and how much that weighs. And then like when you see people who have like basically double or triple a fluffy strip lash, I'm like, strip lashes are heavy enough. Like, and then you're adding all these lashes. It's crazy.
Yeah, it just has to be done appropriate. I mean, my lashes are thick enough that I could have a like mega volume set because I have super duper healthy lashes. But yeah, it's definitely all about
nails are the same way. It depends on the strength.
That's a whole other
and the
episode
health
if people are interested.
Yeah,
I can definitely go down like a 30-minute rant on that.
I could too. I mean, I would listen to that rant also.
Yeah.
But yeah, because nails are the same way. Like there's some people who get mad at me. The woman who sent me the mad angry text, I had suggested we did a different shape.
Yep.
Because square does not agree with everyone. And she was like, no, square. And I was like, okay. And then part of the reason she got mad at me was because the edges of her square were chipping. And I was like, okay, come back, we'll troubleshoot. And then she sent me this huge, she wouldn't even let me try and fix it. She was just like, no, this is what I wanted. This is what I'm used to. And I was like, I'm not going to overfile your nails and burn the crap out of you. Like, I'm not going to do that. And just so this will stick on a shape that obviously does not agree with your lifestyle. Which now I've grown and I also know how to do squares better, but it was just one of those, like, sometimes they don't even want to, they just don't, they don't care. They don't care.
It's just one of those things where, like, not everything is suited to everybody.
Again, people, like, lash art, that's why there's so many different.
Yeah, and I mean, while I 100% vouch for natural lashes and, like, will always stand on protecting those and never doing anything to damage my clients' lashes, you'll find the people out there that'll do exactly what you ask for, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. But I just am here, like I said, my slogan is amplify your natural beauty, and if I'm doing something that's damaging your natural lashes, I'm not helping your natural beauty at all. So,
Yep.
Yeah, but I think that's probably a good stopping point for our first episode, because I feel like we've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole.
34 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think I figured the first one would be shorter just because we're introducing ourselves.
Yeah, we don't want to bore you on the first episode.
Right.
We want some direction from you guys. So I think something we would really appreciate, and I think we'll both post it on our personal social medias, is Q&A, and we'll get some ideas of what you guys would like to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we have a few different ideas, from any business questions are acceptable to beauty business specific to business in general. Anything about life work balance, and then just friends and relationships and just living in your 20s.
Casual, as I keep saying, cozy casual girls on the couch.
Yeah. So
those are the vibes.
Whatever topics you guys would love to listen to and get covered for our next few episodes.
Yeah.
But I think that went really well.
I think so too. I'm so excited to see how this goes. I hope we can nail down a schedule, because are busy.
We work opposite schedules.
I know,
It's kind
it's
of funny.
nuts.
We have opposite days off. So this is going to be a nighttime
We'll
thing,
figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but we'll get down a flow.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on our social media.
Yeah, so my personal is High Definition Aesthetics.
And mine is Ema V Beauty.
And then you can look for Lashing Out and Nailing Life.
Yeah, Lashing Out and Nailing Life, I think. Hopefully that is a name that
we're going to look at creating that right now.
Set it up,
so
actually.
Hopefully it's available. If it's not available, in the caption of this will be what you're actually looking for.
All of our links to anything that we reference will be in the description.
But please like and subscribe. And leave a comment.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.